So it's going to be the same deck. I'm against Faie this time. I actually looked up my stats for, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, my stats for Voth actually this season, which was really surprising to me, for ranked games is 20 and 1. And I think actually I did have my one loss with this deck, but really I just didn't do much losing. It was pretty crazy the way this worked out. Now this game I'm actually looking sort of at maybe doing a trick that Papson explained to me is um, excuse me, I'm trying to is I don't know if I'm using the grammar properly. Um, my plan currently is that since my they play a cannon, which is always a little bit tough, but since my what do you call it? My grow is going to take out that. I'm free to move down here, flash reincarnate my Azure Herald, and this is just strictly the mana ramp. And then I will be able to play the Chrysalis Burst. And my opponent only has two things to try to kill it. So, if this one hadn't spawned in a way that was accessible to, it was possible that I would have been able to keep, you know, some more minions on the board. But, so that was an aggressive play. I don't know if it was correct here. I really didn't have a good answer to the cannon. So my plan was just sort of try to overwhelm them. And I do draw the Plasma Storm, which is good against a lot of the mechs other than the chassis and mech itself. So I'm sort of looking to play into this. And it looks like this is going to get, the Grow is going to get a lot of free turns of just kind of, hitting 0-1s and just ramping itself up. So my opponent will have to deal with it at some point. And although Vanna has a good way to deal with it in Chromatic Hold, this it's still going to eat up a lot of walls, and it still becomes sort of an issue at some point. And they're sort of forced to retreat here because they need to move their general back to kill this. Vindicator's fairly substantial and could cause issues. So they don't want to let that survive for free, and it could also allow me to kill the cannon. So it looks like if they don't play anything else, I'll be able to have two minions out of that Chrysalis Burst, and it kind of mispositioned them and made them use some attacks. So I'm not unhappy with how it turned out. And here we go with the sword and the helm. So I'm not going to be able to Plasma Storm this turn, which is a little bit unfortunate. And I think I sort of misplay this. I got kind of a little, I don't know if it's frazzled or what exactly I was thinking. One interesting play would be trying to use this as a 2 damage spell. I was thinking of trying to make kind of a chain to get here, but I really just don't have the cards. So instead I'm just going to kind of drop back and kill this. I made a big mistake of moving all my minions in line right here, which gives them a really easy, they have a kill on my War Beast for no reason, really. Excuse me. And that was a misplay. And also I actually never seen this. Therex. So that was not the best. My Sworn Sister doesn't give me anything great. I'm not taking a lot of damage, and what I really need is a way to kill Mechazor, or to deal with it somehow. So getting the Earth Sphere in the Seal is not really exciting, I guess. Um, and this is up to a 5/6, which is pretty cool. It got the +1 from the that buff off the Therex, so that's pretty interesting. It's fairly substantial. It will eat any minion my opponent plays at this point, except Mechazor. But I think they're only at 3, and they only have 2 cards in hand. So they could drop Mech, but it's not really likely that they have it, and I think they would have played it out pretty quickly if they did. So I'm not thinking they're going to drop the Mech yet. Unfortunately here, I think I'm probably going to Plasma Storm. And it's going to eat this. But the thing is that it will kill my... my Grow doesn't get to move. It does kill this, but my Grow doesn't get to move because it already used the thing. And I wouldn't play Plasma Storm if I wasn't getting the cannon. I don't really have a good way of dealing with the cannon, and getting all these random walls is just at a benefit. And right now I'm trying not to. Now I stopped playing around the Warbird after it's not up, so that's a mistake I made. So John over here, Uh, it does, draw a card, but it's going to just kind of get eaten, and this will stay alive, so I'm not too concerned. This moves up straight, so I'm going to play into Warbird if I don't. I'm probably just going to have to move this way. I don't really have a great way of killing this unless I want to Thumping Wave, which I might end up doing because leaving a cannon is just always really risky. They could have like a Frost Fire too, which would make it even stronger. But I guess here I choose not to, and I just hope that it won't kill my Grow right here. If it wants to kill off the Warbeast wasn't really doing much. Um, I mean, it could. It does present a threat, and they only have 3 cards. So basically, when you're playing against mech decks, any card that you make them waste, um, use, it's not wasting. Any card that you make them use, any removal you make them use, is one less card they can try to replace for that 5th mech. So even getting this eaten by a Chromatic Hold isn't really bad for me because it makes it harder for them to build to that 5th mech, and they still need 2 more. Oh, excuse me, only 1 more, I guess. Oh yeah, this was their 4th one. So that's part of the thinking. And they're not able to really play a good Dancing Blades. This goes in and hits them, but they are Concealing Shrouded, so it doesn't do any damage. And I don't have any way to really do anything here. Just really nothing getting done. I'm just going to play the Elder and really just hope that I'm able to kind of overwhelm them before the mech comes down. And unfortunately, this gets spawned directly in the path of the Warbird. I mean, it was a 50% shot of that happening, and even right here isn't a good spawn, nor is this actually. So maybe I should have played this further back. And that's one thing to think about is, when there is RNG, you think of the possible spawns. And right here you can see that I played pretty cleanly into a Warbird or a Dancing Blades clear, no matter where I put it. No matter where it spawned. So even though it was bad RNG, I really didn't play around it well at all. I mean, that was a mistake that I made. So in this position, I'm down to 8 health, which is a small amount of health. I don't want to personally take any more damage. So I'm just going to try to clear out my opponent's board. I'm going to have to use a Thumping Wave on this. I'm still waiting for the Elder to take over. I'm going to be taking 2 a turn from the Warbird, so I need to draw either some Heralds or a Earth Sphere soon. That's just going to suicide into my Sunsteel. That's why I set it up, because this will eat the damage for free. It will eat this Force Field, but then she can attack into it. I mean, this is going to eat whatever she plays. Fortunately, this isn't in the Warbird path. And the thing about this is that the first damage... Okay, the thing with Sunsteel Defender is that the first damage, it doesn't matter how much it is. But after that, they still need to hit it for 3. So right here, if the Warbird went first... I mean, she couldn't, obviously, but if the Warbird went first and hit this shield off, then the little kin, that's... The bunnies are called kins, I think, is the actual name of the unit, would have killed it. But since it ate 3 damage, she still has to attack it or ping it a second time. So the Warbird isn't that big of a deal, because if she doesn't kill it right now, the Force Field's going to come back up. So that's kind of a thing about Sunsteel Defender that makes it a little bit even trickier to kill if you don't have 3 damage kind of increments to kill with. So another Gravity Well is a little bit annoying. But I do have the Plasma Storm, and I don't think I need the second Silithar Elder, because I have a bunch of Silithar Elders. I'm going down to 2 right here? Oh no, 4. And she does kill the thing. See, this Grow is actually on the board from the first turn of the game, which is pretty crazy, because it's 7 turns in, it's still alive. So, okay, so here's an interesting thing. I have 9 mana. And I want to play... I might play Plasma if I don't get something off the Lakian. I want to play, Plasma Storm and Lakian maybe. But if I play Lakian first, the Plasma Storm will eat it. So that's bad. So normally that would gravitate you towards playing the Lakian second. But this in this situation, the Lakian's body means nothing. Absolutely nothing this game. It just does not matter at all. It doesn't matter what happens. All that matters is getting some heal cards because I'm way too close to dead. Um, she probably doesn't play much burst, but I do die to Frostfire, I die to Aspect of the Fox, I die to pretty much anything that can get this out of the way, so even a Dispel on her own minion will allow her to walk here and hit me. So, I mean, Plasma Storm makes it... See, the problem is I can't really Plasma Storm right now because that actually allows her to walk up and kill me. So if I were to play the Lakian, but if I played this first, I could... Excuse me, if I played the Plasma Storm first, I could play this right here, and it wouldn't kill me. So I need to dig first. So even though the Lakian will get eaten by the Plasma Storm, it's pretty much never correct to play the Plasma Storm first. And I get super lucky and get another Sphere. That's just what RNG gets you sometimes, so I got pretty lucky. And this basically just shuts her down, because even if she were to get Mech here, Mech would make it difficult, but we're kind of in a situation where it's only going to do so much, especially because I have Mecanter and Thumping Wave, meaning if she gets Mech down, I can just kill it off. And once I kill off the Mech, basically she's on the Warbird Me to Death plan, and I think my massive Silithar Elders makes it pretty difficult, because if she's going to Mech this turn, all she can have in her hand is Mech. She has one Mech plus Mechazor, so she's not playing any spells, so I'm going to start the turn with 4 Silithar Elders. Unless she were to walk forward and try to kill off one, but then I think I just kill her immediately, or close to immediately. It doesn't end well for her. So she plays Mechazor, but I have just the perfect answer, and I am able to just kill off the Mechazor and do 9 damage to her, and just be pretty close to lethal damage. Actually, no, I do have lethal damage. Basically, what I'm going to do is I need to trade off the Lakian and the Helm, and I'm just going to walk right over and kill her. So, by the time she finally drew her Mechazor, I just had the perfect answer, and I got super lucky off the Lakian. So, a pretty fortunate game for me, but, I did have a ton of tools that really got me going. And she had a pretty good start. The Gravity Wells really hampered a lot of my game plan, and protected that cannon so well that... because I didn't have any kind of answers to that, and I really don't think the deck plays many answers to that. I think I would have needed the Thumping Wave and the Natural Selection. So I could have used Thumping Wave earlier, but I didn't. So that was the second game I played, and I think I'll do one more. Thanks, guys.